Help me welcome Jayson Street.
How you doing? Now we're awake. It's a great vibe here, man. I love this vibe here in the Philippines. This is awesome. So hopefully I can keep that going. This feedback where somewhere? Okay. There you go. So this is my legal disclaimer. I'm not a lawyer, though I played one on the internet. So basically what this means is I'm adorable. I will not try to steal from you, ruin you financially, or kill you unless you pay me first. There's always a contract. So in this talk, it's really evil. Okay? So there are going to be parts of this talk and you're going to be going, that was evil. You remember the kittens, okay? I'm adorable, okay? I'm a good guy. I'm just really good at doing bad things. So I had to get that out of the way real quick. The next thing, the topic of this talk is called How to Secure Your Bank's Enterprises from Some of Your Problems Bank's Enterprises for a Living. It's sort of like a rant and an offensive talk and a defensive talk. And I'm starting off with this, the misconceptions we have on how we address risk in our industry. Because this is how they address risk at the Super Bowl in Houston. This was this year. It was a Tier 1 national security event. 5,000 police officers. There was also Secret Service because the Vice President was there. There was also National Guard. There were all the security forces protecting the Super Bowl from bad guys, right? Except 3 teenagers found a hole in a chain link fence, climbed through the fence, found a ladder, and one of them said to the other two, he's like, hey, if we carry this ladder in the whole way, maybe they won't stop us. That sounds idiotic. It worked. All 3 of them carried the ladder. Why do you need 3 people to carry a ladder? In Texas, obviously you do. It's like, and the police are like, yeah, they look legit. Keep going. So they were protected from all these environments, all these threats, but they underestimated the teenage ladder threat, which turned out to be their fault. And that's the problem that we have in this industry is we don't actually address what we're actually being attacked with. We're worried about all these other pie in the sky of horrible things that are coming after us. The least interesting slide of the deck, that's just who I am, me and places to contact me if you'd like to contact me. But this is another example of risk management. This one is the Ebolas. Remember in 2015, the Ebolas. Watch out for it. The Ebolas are going to get you. You know? In America, it was ridiculously overhyped. I mean, it was worse than Shark Week, you know? It's like, everybody's like, oh my God, you got to watch out. Then you got to watch out for the Ebolas. 2 people died in America from Ebola. Now, that was a valid threat in the continent of Africa and several countries there. Yes. In the U.S., not so much. And when you look at how much hype and how many people prepared themselves and worried about catching Ebola in the U.S., and to realize that same year, 55,000 Americans died from the flu. You're all worried about the Ebolas, and you could have gotten a flu shot. It's like, why didn't they do that? It's like, because they were worried about Ebola. That was the threat they were looking at. And that's not the threat you have to realize. Look at this chart here. This is the leading causes of death in perspective. This top one, heart and circulatory disorders, you know, that's pretty bad, especially with the way that I eat bacon. It's like cancer, I've already had that. It's like there's a couple other ones in here that you have to worry about. But look at that little, very, very top. That little bitty dot, terrorism. The leading cause of death, that's at the end of the spectrum. But let's all freak out about that, right? Because it's something horrible. It's like you could be taking some exercise and maybe lay off, you know, some of the fatty acids in your diet, but no, that's work. Let's just worry about this and go through TSA and let them do whatever they want because terrorism. Speaking of that, that's actually my USB drive. That's actually a TSA officer confiscating it. Why? Because when we worry about threats and we make them unreasonable, we have unreasonable action. Where we actually think that this is how we have to do it and this is the procedure, and no one does any critical thinking. was no critical thinking done in this picture. They said it looks like a grenade. And I'm like, look, is that a grenade? I'm going to take over a plane with that. Like, watch out, guys. No, but it looks like a grenade. But it's not a grenade. No, we have to confiscate it. And I had to destroy the USB drive because it actually had some very bad malware on it that would destroy the computers. That's why it's on the grenade. A friend of mine actually went in and gave me one on when I went to travel to the city. It's like he saw this on Twitter and he got me a new one. So do you know how I travel with that wherever I go? Do you know how I do it? I take the cap off and I put it in another pocket in my backpack. It no longer looks like a grenade. It's totally fine. Security. I feel better flying now, don't you? Because they go after policies and they don't do any critical thinking. That's one of our other issues. Now, the same thing goes with online. We're worried about 0 days. Yeah. Come on. We go here. This is not awkward at all. Surprise awkward hug. So you got these 0 days everybody's worried about, right? So, oh my gosh, the 0 days out. Someone's dropping O day. It's like, yeah, SQL Slammer is still out on the internet. Stop talking to me about 0 days. You got a bug that was released at DEF CON in 2002 of July. September of 2002, Microsoft patched it.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on, G.
Yes.
We need to come with the root contradiction. Let's give him a round of applause to the root contradiction. The unicorn static is down.
We're going to make it.
Thank you.
There we go. So, you got all these 0 days where the SQL Slammer came out in February of 2003. 2003 after the patch Microsoft released in 2002. That's an issue. But it's 2017 and SQL Slammer is still out there. That just makes you sad. So let's fix these issues. Let's fix the issues that we can actually address and deal with, and also worry about 0 days when we can. But there's a lot of things that are low-level things that we can work on. Because who's really coming after you? Do you really think that it's the nation state coming after you? Do you really think that's your attack vector? That you're like so special that you got governments coming after you? Maybe if you own a rubber company in China or a centrifuge in Iran, or you're the Pope. Seriously, didn't say act the Pope. And I'm not talking about that old guy, the scarier one with the red shoes and hat and everything. I'm talking about this Pope. This is the guy who dresses up as a regular priest and goes around Vatican City at night and feeds the homeless. He's like the Batman of popes. He's amazing, right? It's like, that guy's awesome. Why would you spy on him? So that's crazy. What are your other attack vectors? You got like anonymous. Are you worried about hacktivists coming after you? Are you worried about that? I mean, if you look at this one, I love this one. Could the hacker group Anonymous do any real damage to Donald Trump's campaign as it is threatening? No. No, it didn't. Sorry. It's like, yeah. So that's another issue. So it depends on their effectiveness of how good they are. So you got to worry about that. Who's coming after you? Maybe people who want to rob you. Maybe people want your money. How likely is that to happen? How likely are you to be a target of a criminal coming after you versus a nation state? I'm going to say the odds are pretty high that this is what you have to worry about. So while you're looking at all these other vectors, you should make sure that you're taking more attention to the actual threat that you really have to face, which is criminals. Because, I got to have a pun in there, because being a target, see what I did there, of cybercrime can be catastrophic. How many companies here in the Philippines can lose $236 million US and still exist? Probably not that many. How many in America can lose $236 billion and still exist? Not very many. That's a huge impact on your environment. And that's not just from the actual attack. That's the response. That's the repercussions of it. That's the regulations. That's the fines. That's all the people who are getting sued. That's all the reparations they're making to the customers. All that stuff is affecting it. So, why is this happening? How did Target happen? How did a lot of the attacks happen? It's basic. Majority of workers blindly open email attachments. Phishing. That's how Target happened, was a phish. We're worried about 0 days and making sure that we're doing endpoint security, and people are still clicking these on their emails. That's something that's basic that we can fix, we can work on. So I wanted to do something for RuCon. I wanted to do a demonstration because I have some defensive things that you can do to better proactive help protect your company. But when you start off with that, telling people how they can protect themselves, you're not very interested. You know, because it's like, it's never going to happen to me. So yeah, but that's for somebody else. It's always someone else that gets attacked. It's always else that someone gets breached. It's never me. So I decided to attack somebody in the audience. Yes. I decided to choose, because I found out from one of the organizers that there are some people from the company here in the audience today. I attacked your company. It's like, and I just like how everybody else is quiet, because okay, it's not funny anymore. I was going with them. I was agreeing with them. I even nodded my head a couple times. I was going to tweet something positive out there, but I'm not so happy now. So let's get it ready. This attack, I have to say, is random, it's arbitrary, and it could have happened to any of you. So it could have been any one of you guys, not the ones that I just attacked. It's just random. I Googled it. I Googled biggest bank in the Philippines. Who's the top of my list? Well, everybody say hello to BDO. Hi, BDO. No, please don't, if you're BDO, don't raise your hand and let me know you're there, because it'll just be awkward when I'm talking. So here's their Google. I find out all this information right off the bat of where they're at, where their locations are, who they're founded by, and their social profiles. We'll come back to their social profiles, but let's go to their site. This is their website. That's a cool website. Those people really like spaghetti. That's nice. That's good. That's how normal people see your website. That's the problem. I'm not normal. This is not how I see your website. This is not how an attacker sees your website. This is how the good guys see your website. The people legitimately doing business see your website. This is how I see your website. With extensions. See this extension right there? It was nice enough to tell me, oh my gosh, it's like 203.177, we're going to say that's an 80.204. It's giving me all your information, your IP addresses. It shows me where your servers are. It shows me you're using Globe Telecom, showing me your ASN number. And it shows me also with the information there, it shows me that you're hosting your own web server, which thank you for that, because that might be able to do a dual home or do a pivot into your internal network. So I appreciate that. That's nice. Also, you're hosting your own mail server right there at mail.bdo.com.ph. All those IP addresses, you see that whole range? That's all the ranges of all the IP addresses I'm going to attack. So now I have just a list of attack vectors. And all I did was go to your home page. That's it. Just by going to your home page, I've got all this information that I can start my attack with. It's like, but let's go back to the Google page, because this was interesting for me. And this is a little side tangent I got to go down, because I noticed that social media profiles, you only had Facebook and YouTube. And I was like, that's odd. It's like, because, companies got to be like socially profiled out there. I mean, I actually attacked a bank just 2 weeks ago, and the reason why I attacked them and I picked them was because they had a Pinterest account. Who has a Pinterest account if you're a corporation? I was like, seriously. It's like, I don't do that much Pinteresting or whatever it's called, but I was like, I'm going after you, okay? Pinterest. It's like, so I was like a little worried that they don't have that much social. And then I Googled BDO, Unibank, Twitter, and I came up, oh, they've got Twitter accounts. Okay, let me go after those. because I love going out your Twitter accounts. I have about 25 different Twitter accounts. I am an 85-year-old Lieutenant Colonel, Air Force retired, Lieutenant Colonel Jack O'Neill, because I like the movie Stargate, and I use that identity to actually compromise a person. I'm on LinkedIn. I've got several LinkedIn profiles. I'm a 23-year-old redhead female who just graduated out of high school, out of college for her CPA to be an accountant. Trust me, don't let me do your taxes. That's just fake. But the funny part is, the person I was attacking, he actually endorsed me for my CPA skills, which I thought was nice of him. And it's like, but we also gave me all the status, which was also even nice of him. But yeah, that was a good account. So I go to Twitter. What? Video, that's not how you Twitter. That's not how you're not Twittering right on that one. You know, it's like, I don't know if this is actual BDO's account. It looks like someone's taken their account, or BDO's actually owned this account and said, F it, we don't want to talk to you guys or have a social presence because no one else to have it. Which, okay, I guess that works. So rude, but whatever. You know, I'm not going to judge. But I go to another BDO, Banquet de Oro, and this guy is actually contacting me at PhilippineBrands@AIM.com. It's like he's got your Twitter handle on hostage. That's not good. Someone should really take care of that, is all I'm saying. Okay? I'm not like trying to call BDO out, except for the fact that I'm calling them out, but that's something you got to look at, you know? You got to do some brand protect. You have to protect and actually manage your social media accounts. Not because they're attack vectors, but because that's how the public sees you. But let's go to one that actually works. YouTube. They've got that. Okay. Let's go on. I wanted to go and look for more things. So I was wondering, do y'all have Instagram? Because you know everybody wants the Instagram stuff. And I have information for you guys. BDO, you do not have an official Instagram account. Which is okay. Once again, at least it's not Pinterest, so you got that going for you. But your employees have Instagram accounts, which may be not so good. And when I say not so good, you really shouldn't have your employees inside your bank branch Instagramming pictures of him, showing you what his badge looks like. Because I call that helpful. It's like, you may not so much. So, then I go to LinkedIn. Let's look at LinkedIn. LinkedIn, Banco de Oro, they've got 2,973 targets. I mean, employees. So that's awesome. So I love LinkedIn, because LinkedIn's like the Facebook of corporations, right? It's like I can find out what colleges people are going to, I know what schools they went to, I know the population of male and female, I know the locations, the cities that they work at. It's a smorgasbord of information. I can just crack everything down. So that's awesome. So I love LinkedIn. But what I like more than LinkedIn is Facebook. And they've got a Facebook account. Oh, I love Facebook. You know why I love Facebook? Because they give you information, like the fact that they're doing a Manila job fair on September 23rd. Now this is very important. Because if you look, there's over 1.2 thousand likes and reactions, and someone even hearted emoji because they really need a job, I guess. I don't know. It's like, but there's also 130 shares. Now let me talk to you the difference about likes and shares. Okay? Because we all have that friend on Facebook, right? Got the new baby. Oh look, my baby's eating porridge. It's like, you gotta like that picture. They got 35,000 pictures of their kid, but you gotta like every single one of them. Because if you don't like the picture, the next time you see them, like, why didn't you like the picture of my baby eating porridge? Did you not like the way my baby eats porridge? That's the prettiest way a baby's ever eaten porridge in the history of the world, and you didn't like it? And you feel all guilty, and it's all awkward stuff, you know, you unfriend them, and it's like all kinds of drama. You don't go there, right? It's like, but, so you gotta like the pictures. Everybody just likes pictures, that's fine. But if you share that picture, what are you doing? You're saying, that is the prettiest way a baby's ever eaten porridge I've ever seen in my life. I have to share it with everybody, and I'm putting my name to that baby eating porridge right there. You shared it, you've associated with it. So I'm interested in people who share corporate posts. Because who mostly shares corporate posts? Employees. Because they think they're being good employees and I'm helping spread the message. I'm a team player, so I'm sharing this post. It's like, because their boss doesn't care, but whatever. It's like, so they share it, and it looks good. So I looked at these people who shared this post. And that's when I met Ann Sanchez. Everybody say hello to Ann Sanchez. Okay, she's not going to say hi back, but she's got 5 likes on it, so I was like, okay, that's good enough. Let's meet Ann a little bit more. This is Ann. Hi, Ann. If you'll notice, it says add friend. I am not a friend of hers, and after this, I'm definitely never going to be. But there's her Facebook profile. I actually had to block out the big picture because that's her daughter. People, your cover photos and profile photos are publicly accessible to everyone. Stop using your children as those photos. If you don't want random strangers and creeps creeping up on your profile and looking at your kids, don't make it available to the public. She went further. This is another public post. So here she is feeling thankful at the Palm Ridge School where her daughter goes to school. So I know where her school is, and I know what her daughter looks like, and I know the name of her daughter. We're going to classify that as not good. Okay? Let's all agree, not good. But luckily, I'm not trying to kidnap her children because that would be bad, and I remember the kittens, I'm adorable. I'm just trying to steal from the bank. So let's ignore this part and go to the other information that we want, which is who she's friends with. If you'll notice, her privacy settings are so screwed up that her friends are actually in categories recently added: work, followers, and following. So these are her work friends. So now I know they work at the bank with her. Yay! It's like, and so I picked this one at the bottom just because that was so many names that I couldn't pronounce. I was like, let's go for that. And I'm right there. It's like, yes, sorry, I'm American. I don't speak very many languages. I'm from Texas, so I don't speak them very well. But yeah, that's her. So she's using her daughter. If you click on the cover photo, you can actually see her daughter, which is another mistake. But she's a branch manager at UDO. So that's awesome. So I want to definitely target her. So how do I do that? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume Ann's identity. I'm going to take her identity and send an email to Inna here, and I'm going to tell Inna something to make her click on a link. But I don't have the email addresses. How do you find email addresses? Well, why don't you go to email-format.com and just put in the name of bbcom.ph, and it's nice enough to give you the whole format of where you can go and what they use for their format for their emails. I mean, how awesome is that? So now I know they use last name, first name. They even give me examples of how they do it right here and what websites they've actually put that into. It's like I found some vulnerabilities just based off email-format.com searches. And if I'm getting them from there, you're having a bad day. It's like, because I'm not the only one. Now, this is very important. This is the only talk that I've ever had to have 2 kitten slides. Because I really, really have to remind you, I'm a good guy. But I've got to be really, really evil. If I sent you an email saying you won the lottery, would you believe it? Okay, maybe you. You got to give your email address later. But if I send you something positive, you're more suspicious. But if I send you something bad, if I send you something disturbing or horrible news about something, the way humans' minds react, they're more likely to click the link. During the talks this year that I've done this, it's like I always pick local banks. It's like, so it's not, just don't worry, video, it's just not you. It's like, and I've always created a local horrible event. And I've chosen, I've used the murder of 2 girls that really did die, that were really murdered, in one city to use as an email to send out on someone to give them some disturbing information. using that as the topic for my talk, for my email. That's bad. You're like, Jayson, you're a horrible person. Kids, okay? I want you to not think. I want you to react. 2 days after the Boston bombing, I received an email that said, Boston bombing, exclamation, and then and seriously, in the body of the image, the body of the email was just an IP address /Boston.html. I'm like, you're not even trying. That's just lazy. It's like, but you had a daughter running the Boston Marathon. You had family in Boston. You're still reeling from what's going on and the manhunt that was going on. Would you click that link? You want information. You've got to know what's going on. So I decided to Google horrible things that are going on in the Philippines. It's like, and one of the ones that I thought I had a 42% chance of not going to jail with was terrorism. Because, terrorism's bad. We can all agree on that, hopefully. It's like if the guy doesn't agree with you next to you, scoot away a little bit. It's like, so I decided to use terrorism as my way in. And I did this also in Paris. There was just recently a terrorist attack in Paris near a branch of the bank that I actually used in the email and made that part of the excuse for them to click on the link. They weren't happy with that either. So here's the email. It's to robust.in@video.com.ph. And see where it says BCC, it's supposed to be from Sanchez, because I didn't really send it, people. I don't have a contract with BDO. I did not do anything invasive on their website or in their, all this was passive, all this was like totally legal. BDO legal. Totally legal, okay? Just make sure y'all aren't already calling your lawyers. It's like, so it's totally legit. So I didn't really send this email out. But let's see where it goes. Moderate terrorists starting to target bank branches, including ours, 3 exclamation points. See, that's important. You do 1 exclamation point, you're excited. 2 exclamation points, you're shouting. 3 exclamation points, serious business. Okay? Pay attention. So, hello, Anna. I hope you are doing well. I read the news story, badlink.com, about the horrible terrorists declaring that they would start attacking bank branches, including ours. I'm afraid that they may also target our job fair on the 23rd. It has me very frightened, and I wanted to make sure you were aware since your branch may be targeted. 3 exclamation points. Take care, end of session. Send from a mobile device, and let's all imagine that that is written in Filipino. Sorry. It's like, so that happens. If you saw that, and it involved information that's personal to her and Ina, it's like, which is the bank, the job fair, is that something you're likely to click on? That's how an attack works. This took less than an hour. I have very bad ADHD and stuff, and I was playing blog attack. It's like, so it's like, this was really literally less than an hour of work to find information, to find a target, and craft an email that an employee would likely click on. That's your threat model. Not 0 days as much as it is going to be people clicking on links from people they think are friends and think that they're related to. It's like abusing that trust relationship. And this is something that's going on more and more. Like everybody's not so happy anymore. Everybody's like, you're depressing me, Jayson. I'm sorry. It's like, but that's the way it goes. That's what happens. This is the talk of distractions. There you go. So there is an uptick in social media-based attacks. It's like, if you'll notice, it's like more and more people are gathering information on social media. Because more and more of your employees are sharing information about their jobs on social media. You have to look at that as an employer. As someone who runs a company, you need to be aware of what your employees are posting online. Not censoring it, not curtailing it, but at least being aware of it and letting them know what the guidelines are on what they can and cannot post. Like maybe have a rule in your company handbook that says, hey, don't post what's inside the bank branch near the safe with your employee badge. Please. That would be a good policy to start. So what are we going to do now? Give up? Those talks that people give at ACT conferences, They talk about how they broke into vulnerability and they destroyed some kind of protocol or device, and they go, yeah, I totally trashed it. This is 0 days out. I just released it to the public. They haven't fixed it yet. That's their problem. It's going to be horrible to fix. I don't even know. I'm good. Bye. I'm like, how do you fix that? How do I defend myself from that? Well, I don't know how to do that. I just tore it up. That's somebody else's problem. That sucks. It's like, that's not fun for anybody, except for the guy who broke it. So now, this is my dessert part is over. I call my desserts and vegetables talk, because now it's the vegetables. What do we do to better protect ourselves from these kind of attacks? Well, one of the things that we can do is we may not have a security team that knows how to do a lot of social networking searches. They may not know how to use those tools and use them. Well, that's okay, because OSINTframework.com actually gives you a very nice, convenient list map form. Well, my map, it shows you the different tools you can use to do social media lookouts. It's like doing searches for people. That's right there for you. So you need to let your blue team, let your defensive, let your information security teams have permission and ability to do these kind of searches to make sure their networks are protected and make sure their employees are not sharing information that could be damaging for you. Also, Mike Basil created the intelligence search tool. It's like he created a whole ISO. And if you go to or search for intelligence techniques or Basil over there, you will actually have this ISO image. It's a VMware image I'm using right now. These are all OSINT tools. All these pre-configured. It's the Calinalytics of OSINT and Recon. All the tools are ready there for you to start using. It's like, so you can look at that for you as well. But also, one of the sites that you need to be going to right now as of today is Pastebin. How many people are searching Pastebin for their company's information? I did a search for Video Bank. Look at all these hits in Pastebin. Pastebin.com is an anonymous place where people can source information. It's also a great place for criminals to post private information or confirmation of credit card information or card information. Well, here, just let me go show you. Like this guy. There's Pamela Blanco, Vanilla. There's her credit card expirations, 2018. She should really get that changed. There's her CVV code. There's where she lives. There's her Facebook. That's not what you want to see on a hacker conference screen. That's an issue. Are they informing their client that their information has been compromised? Does the bank even know it? Those are things that you have to worry about. It's like, so you need to do searches on Pastebin.com. You can set up alerts. There's a setting where you can actually log in and do alerts, so it automatically emails you when your trigger words actually pop up. Like Video Bank compromised, or just Video Bank, or card numbers, or your big number show up. You'll get an alert warning you of that. What about Shodan? This is Shodan. You notice this is in Manila. Just like in zombie movies and alien invasion movies, red dots on your map is never a good thing, okay? That's never going to end well for you, okay? With that many red dots, this is not going to be a happy day, right? So all those red dots are potentially compromisable machines that are out on the internet discussing. And when I talk about potential, I mean, let's drill down on this one. This is just for Telnet alone, 153 machines that have Telnet available on the internet for you to connect to. It's like, what's Telnet? It's bad. It's very, very bad. You don't need to know anything else about Telnet. But that is bad. And you should shut it down. And you should feel bad if you have to use it. Okay? That's all you need to know about Telnet. That's the technical information, by the way. It's bad. So, and we got this other company here. We got this guy. They got more outlets or more websites and more Telnet. But let's go in here to this one. This is 124.105.67.74. Those are all the ports they have open. I was like, hey guys, it's like, that's really good. I'm trying to read into there, but I can't see it. It's like, let's zoom in. Shrinker Philippines Incorporated. This is their Cisco router. with Telnet. Remember what I said about Telnet, right? Well, it's too late for these guys because they're being presented right now. They also have their HTTP was config out available. That's not a good thing. And when I say that's not a good thing, I mean seriously, it's really not a good thing. Who wants to bet that user ID and password is either admin or admin Cisco? All right. For the record, and for all the law enforcement probably joining us right now, it's like I did not test it. Okay, I do not know. It's like all I did was take the screenshot and got out. Okay, I'm done. But the likelihood of it being admin is pretty good. This was from the Equifax breach just from September 13th. It turned out that in Argentina, the Equifax web admin for one of their administrator pages was literally admin. I wonder why Equifax got breached. Oh yeah, because of stuff like this, right? So that's something that's happening. And you ask yourself, well, Jayson, what are the odds of someone actually going through Showdown and trying to attack my company or finding my IP address? You got motherfuckers like these all the time doing it. This is all this guy does for his hobby. You know, I like to 3D print and I like to fly drones for a hobby. This guy's going to show it and find stuff on you that can destroy you. Okay, his hobby is probably way cooler, okay, but also a little bit scarier for you. It's like, these are all the different findings that he's found that he's just tweeted out on the internet. And he also does mass scans where when the Internal Blue vulnerability came out, he decided, you know, it's a Friday night, I got nothing else to do, let me scan the internet. 1.72 million hosts scanned. He found 33,468 infected already with the Internal Blue exploit. That's what you call having a bad day, by the way, if you're not familiar with the definition. That would be it. Another thing you can do, this is not a sales pitch, but you can use different kinds of tools to be your own blue team in a box. So if you don't have the people or the employees to do that, get a tool or get some kind of like core security. It's like get something that can help them be there. It's like it be part of your blue team. And if all else fails, Google. Set up Google alerts for your company name breached or vulnerable or hacked. Have your employees and your information security team proactively looking the internet for information that may be detrimental to your company. Before some, Yahoo hacker, from the US comes up on stage and does it for you. Because that never is the best way to have it happen. Ask BDO. So it's like, that's what needs to work. So, it's like, well, that's my executive overview. Security is a cost center until the lack of it costs you everything. Show your employees that you take security seriously, and they will too. And then patch passwords, public Wi-Fi, paranoia. But let's get straight into some of the things that you can actively do. This is what I want you to take pictures of. Right here, this is from one of the talks that Mubik's done. Mubik's is a great guy. This is one of his talks. WPAT, make a null route to 127.0.0.1, IPv4, or a data extension for WPAT, and then make a null route for WPAT for IPv6. Disable that file resolution if you can. The reason why is because Microsoft's helpful. Microsoft's so helpful. They said, hey, you know what? People need web proxies inside their internal environments. And then someone else from Microsoft, probably drunk, was like, yeah, but how are they all supposed to know what web proxy's at, where it's at? And the other guy, who was more drunk, was like, hey, let's just make it that any machine named WPAD on the internal network is automatically the web proxy, and all the traffic on the network should go through them for web traffic. And then a whole bunch of people at Microsoft, yeah, that sounds cool. Let's do that. Do you know what every attacker's machine's name is after they change it from Kali Linux? It's WPAD. There's no hacking. You plug in, you connect, and everybody's traffic goes to your machine. That's called WIN. So change that, make it more difficult for them to actually do that. Make them work a little bit, people, please, just a little bit. Okay? Plugging into the network should not be done. You know, and there should be more effort involved. Another thing, I love this one. This is one of my favorites. Step 4 is extremely important. You know, legal disclaimer. 1, create a user called domain admin _ Tim. I mean, seriously, create this on your domain controller. Then 2, put the password in the description field. Say, temporary password for account, make it secure. Password 2. See? Gotcha. Like you thought password 1. Password 2 will never catch it. It's like delete account 2015. Right? So put that in the description field so they actually know what the real password is. And put the real password in there. Then 3, add it to the domain admins group. You're like, whoa, Jayson, seriously? It's like, yes, that's the only Pepsi in my bottle. I'm not messing with you. That's actually what I want you to do. Make it but here's the kicker. Here's the one that you can't get mad at me if you screw up. Step number 4, under login hours, set it to 0. Get it? They can never log in. The password's legit, so the account's never locked out. What happens on an attacker on your internal network? If you have been breached, this is not about defense. This is not about protecting yourself from a breach. Let's face it, a breach is going to happen. How quickly you detect and react to the breach is paramount. That's what you need to understand, and you need to start working better on. So what is an attacker usually going to go after first? Domain controller. They go through the domain users, they see a temp domain account with the password in the description file. Who is not going to put that in there? Who is not going to test that? And as soon as they do, you got it. Because you set up logging to log you and alert you anytime that account is used on your network. So now you know what workstation was compromised, and you know that you've actively been breached. 0 false positives, people. $0, less than 30 minutes, and you've got an actual indicator that your network's been breached that you can start reacting on. That's what you do. That's how you do active defensive security. Another thing is to do it in the share folders. You know, create a file and then public share that's a little way for people to use, and just make it read-only. Make a public share called Password Audit 2015. And inside I created an Excel file about 4 megs, because let's face it, you do not put in an Excel file 1 kilobyte and think someone's going to believe that, okay? Actually put it with some size to it. And make sure that file that is in a folder that people aren't supposed to go to is deny all with logging. And then when you have someone that's going through your shares and looking for confidential information, you find them instead of them finding that. You also find Bob in accounting who gets bored and he goes through people's shares when he's not supposed to. So you'll find some employee policy infractions as well, which is a good thing because Bob needs to get his nose out of other people's business, okay? No offense to any Bobs or accounting people in the audience. But that's what you do there. I would like to give full credit. That's Rob Fuller. Those were all from Rob Fuller. That's his Twitter, and that's the video that I got it from. Another thing that we have to worry about is segmentation of a network. Did everybody get that? Hold on. I saw some people still take pictures. Sorry. I'll wait. Actually, hold on. Keep it that up. There we go. Okay. Now, we got to create a segmentation of our network. We've gone too long having the coconut network. Everybody knows the coconut network? Really hard on the outside, really nice and soft and juicy on the inside. Because they got to get through the walls. We got to build our walls so high, like big walls, huge walls. Oh wait, that's somebody else. Sorry. We got to build these walls, right? And that was to protect you. Not so much. Because while you're building walls, those are paratrooping in. Walls are useless. How do you detect a breach? How do you actually segment a network to keep it from... You got to segment your network. A submarine is the model we need to start going after. What does a submarine do? If a submarine gets hit and it's not totally catastrophic from the first hit, bullseye, a compartment goes down. It gets flooded. But it's already sectioned off. So you may lose Bob in the engineering group, sorry Bob. It's like, but the rest of the sub still works. That's the way you need to create your network. Is there any reason why your HR department needs to communicate through the network to the web developers? No. Is there any reason why your accounting department needs to communicate through the network to the web developers? No. Is there any reason why executives, management, CEOs need to contact through the network web developers? No. Does anybody need to talk to the web developers? Is what I'm trying to say. No. Sorry, web developers. It's like, you've got to segment your network. You've got to make it compartmentalized. Your internal network is hostile and should be treated as hostile. It's like, because it is. So start segmenting the networks. I actually did an engagement where on the first day, within the first hour, I refused the money of the client and told them that I could not do the job. Because their network was 10.0.0.x. And when I mean their network, I mean their whole entire effing network, okay? Their web developers had a 10 address. The CEO of the company was on a 10 address. Everybody got a 10 IP address. You got a 10 IP address. You got a 10 IP address. Everybody gets 10 IP addresses, right? There was no segmentation. There was no D&Z. It was a flat network. Everything was on this one network. And when I mean everything, they had a guest wireless access point. And it was the name of the company, _guest, unencrypted. Not even web, okay? It's like not even trying. It's like unencrypted, wide open, broadcasting. Guess where it was? Exactly. It had a 10 IP address. I was like, you're asking me to break into a house and you forgot to build walls. I can't break what's already broken. I don't know what you want me to do here. It's like, I can steal the coaster, but you've got it outside, just like saying, steal me. It's like, it's not fun. I like doing fun things. So you've got to segment your network. You've got to treat it as a hostile environment. And another thing is, oh my gosh, seriously people, this is like one of the saddest slides ever. The saddest part is I can actually add more pictures. Those are all the people. WannaCry was one of the best things to happen to information security. Straight up. I mean, it was a horrible event, but you know what? People understood it. It got pressed. People realized, oh, maybe I should patch these things. Oh, there's bad people doing bad things. It's just not an agency. There's criminals out there trying to steal money from me. That's why it was a good thing. Don't go on Twitter and say, Jayson said crime is good, okay? I didn't say it that way. It's like WannaCry was bad, but it helped out people because it was so effective. And when I mean effective, this was day one, 402, 194, bad. Second day, results varied a little bit. There was a little bit more added, slightly. That's an issue. Everybody all over the world was affected with that. One of the saddest things is, everybody knows MSO 867. Raise your hand if you love MSO 867. See, those are the bad guys you gotta watch out for right there. Because it's like because MSO 867 is the golden ticket. If they are not passed for MSO 867, it is not their computer or their network, it is yours. Period. If you're not passed for MSO 867, game over, go home, someone else has got your marbles. Okay? The thing about MS 1711 or 10, it's MS 1010, yeah, MSO 1710, one of the things that infuriates about me is this was the new golden ticket. This was the new end-all be-all. This was going to replace MSO 867. Except for WannaCry happened. So now you have a network that probably passed for MSO 1710 and still has MSO 867 out there not patched. It's like, because no one knows about that one. Everybody knows about this one. And no one knows what the patch is for. So you've got to create your companies to start doing a patching environment. Patching is important. It's something that is horrible. It is time-consuming. It causes issues on your network. It causes machines to break. It is a expensive procedure when you first start to implement it. There are so many things that your executives are going to tell you why you can't patch. Your business can go and be gone. Your system's compromised and your company's ruined is what you respond with. Because if they're not patching, that can happen. And that doesn't cost you extra money. Just patch. Having a patching policy. Saying within a certain amount of days, these critical systems have to be patched. And then a certain amount of days, these systems have to be patched. And then a certain amount of days, these systems have to be patched. Just get that policy in place, and you are stopping probably 70% of all the attacks that are coming at you. Just by patching. And not just the operating system, you got to patch the applications. You know, there's a patch for Java that came out probably today. And Adobe that came out 5 months ago. And when I finish this talk, we'll probably get another patch from Adobe and Java. But still, you know, it's like they're there. It's like, you know, you need to patch those. Or stop using Java and Adobe, people. Seriously. Okay, but let's go. What's the next thing you can do? I love this one. You create a 1.1 pixel GIF link that alerts you on your website. On your front page, put a 1. And I actually, in case you're wondering, I'm so OCD, I actually Googled 1.1 pixel GIF. There's actually one on the slide deck. Seriously. It's like it's there. Trust me. It's like I'm happy. So you put that 1.1 pixel GIF on there and you link it to a page. And when you link it to that page does nothing but redirects you to the front page after it's logged and emailed you the IP address, the user agent string, the operating system, and any other information you can gather on the browser that clicked it. Because what human in his right mind is scrolling your website like this, like, oh, there's a link, oh, there's a link, oh, there's a link. Okay, I did that once when I was born, okay? It's like most people don't do that. Okay, what does that? OpenBAS does that. Nikto does that. Burp Suite does that. And trust me, if you've got a Nikto user agent hitting your website, they are not checking for their mortgage. Okay? They are not looking to do business. Well, they're looking to do business with you, but you're not going to like it. Okay? Nikto should never be on your site. OpenBAS should never be on your website. And in that, thought stream right there, why let them? You can block user agent streams from the web server to say if it detects, and you're saying, Jayson, they'll just change the user agent stream. Well, yeah, if they're smart, but we're talking about criminals here. See, people always make a mistake calling, saying hacking is synonymous with criminals. No, criminals use the tools that hackers create and the methodologies that hackers develop. They are not hackers. They're criminals. They download the tool, they watch YouTube videos, and they do it. They don't ever conform. They don't ever try to configure. I know a lot of hackers don't configure and change their... There was one CTF where all the guy did was log in, SSH to everybody's Kali Linux boxes, and guess it was root Tor for the user ID and password, and he armed them RF everybody. Because no one changed the password. And those were hackers doing that. So these criminals and stuff, they're not changing the default. So if you see Nikto, you see OpenBAS, you see these other bad agents, they should not be connected to your website. They should not be allowed to see your website. Also, countries. Start blocking countries from your website. How many people here do business with Paraguay? Why is Paraguay able to see your website? If you don't do business with that country, they shouldn't even see your network. It's like, if you don't do business with the US, or China, or Russia, or, once again, Paraguay. I don't know why it's just Paraguay. You gotta watch out. It's like, also I just like saying Paraguay. But you gotta block those countries. Keep them from doing and seeing your network. That limits your attack surface. It doesn't stop attacks, but it limits what you see, and it limits who sees you. That helps narrow it. Once again, you're not trying to stop the attack, you're trying to help limit it to make it more manageable. Another thing is, own the sites that look like yours. I literally compromised a company one time by using an email website that looked like theirs, and at the end of it, because they put their email policy.pdf, on their website. And so what I did was I copied the whole address link, weaponized their email PDF policy, put it on my phishing site, and sent an email to people to be, and I said, there are more and more attacks surfacing where people are being targeted for phishing and sophisticated phishing attacks. Please make sure you've read our email policy and you're familiar with these kind of tactics to better protect yourself from email threats. And it worked because they clicked the links. I thought that was hilarious. My client didn't. But it was still hilarious. Another thing you can do is tell your users that they have to click on a link, that they have to download an attachment, to check it out with virustotal.com. Now, I have to put a qualifier on it that's only if it's non-company and private confidential information. But if it's just a regular attachment that you get out of the blue, or a regular email that you get out of the blue and someone sends a link in it, check it out with VirusTotal. Because trust me, if it's not private confidential, Google probably has it anyway, right? So it's like, upload it and have to check it. The next thing is, web developers should be building good code. Going back to SQL Slammer. Remember, SQL Slammer was not a security vulnerability. It was floppy coding. I mean, not SQL Slammer, SQL injection. SQL injection is not a security vulnerability, it's crappy coding. Stop trying to let your developers get off on saying that it's a security vulnerability. It's not. You don't, in this day and age, you should not have a SQL injection on a website unless you're doing a CTF. That's the only reason why. And if you're doing a CTF and SQL injection, you're being lazy. Okay? It's that easy. No offense to Jayson and what you guys got going on. So hopefully there's no SQL injections there. But seriously, SQL injection is that easy. So you also have to create teachable moments. And I did a talk a couple years ago where I created a teachable moment for my audience. What did I do? I pwned them. I had a Wi-Fi pineapple, which is actually sort of like the Wi-Fi pineapple I have here. We're going to pretend that it's not running right now, so feel free to cut off your devices. And I actually attacked everybody in the audience. That was a teachable moment. People realized, oh crap, this stuff could happen to me. Just like what I did at the very beginning with BDO, that stuff could happen to you. I was at the RSA conference, 30,000 security professionals there, a lot of NCSSPs, they're all very credentialed and professional, hardly any music degrees at all. And we had 7 minutes, 42 people connected to it. 42 people in under 7 minutes connected to my malicious access point. I'm not going to do that one though, okay? How many people have been to this website though? Raise your hand if you've been to this website. I hate to inform you, you're wrong. You did not go to this website. You went to this website. See the difference? Come on, guys. See? Not this website. You went to this website. Oh, let me make it a little bit more clear. Let me give you the actual address. It's right here. rootcon.org.cgi-bin.email/confirmation. If you went there, you're going to have a bad day. But in web addresses, what do you read from? Humans read left to right from the web address bar, but computers read right to left. So all that rootcon.org is just a subdomain for the domain that I actually own, cgi-bin.email. Who knew that .email was an actual qualifier domain? Attackers do to your users. So if they see that address, that looks totally legit. And they'll click it, which would be bad. It's like, but not this one. You can actually click this one. All you're going to see is the llama looking at you judgmentally for clicking the link. That's it. That's all that's there. There's no malware, there's no code or anything. It's just a judgmental llama. So the last thing I want to leave it on, this is what, at Black Hat, this is what the hotel did for their employees. They didn't use fear-mongering. They didn't use anything. They used it as an opportunity to teach their employees how to be better secure. They use the hacking conference event to better educate their employees. Your employees are not stupid. They're not trained. That's the problem. You train an employee that they have to be secure and they have to be suspicious of emails and attachments and websites that they go to. If they want to keep their job, guess what? They will start doing that. Using videos as an example, again, it's like if they talk to, if you go in there to a BDO branch right now with a machine gun and a ski mask, you're probably going to have a bad day. Because they are trained on how to respond to that. They are trained on how to react to that kind of environment. They know how not to panic. They know how to judge the height, the weight. They know how to get characteristics. They know how to do all that and handle that efficiently and effectively for the safety of the customers and the employees. But if a geek in a suit and a USB drive comes in there, you're screwed. Because they're not trained on how to handle that. And trust me, I know that from experience. It's like they're not trained on how to handle that kind of attack. It's not that they are stupid. It's just that they're not trained. So I'm going to leave this up for a second, because it gives me time to do this. No, seriously, no. Thank you. Any questions? Well, I'm going to go for the awkward silence. That works for me. Good. I will be out and about later through the whole con, and probably around lunchtime if you want to do a scan for hacker chest and get your head scan or revive. Come contact me. But I actually have a question. Yes.
Can you go back to the school where you have the online virus?
Oh, virus total?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Anything else? Thanks, guys. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.